Privacy and the Internet, the Basics. Dr. Frank Kardasz. The Internet is an integral part of our daily lives, and with that integration comes the issue of privacy. Internet service providers, also known as ISPs, have access to a vast amount of personal information, including browsing history, search queries, and location data. This information can be used for targeted advertising, sold to third-party companies, or even accessed by government agencies for surveillance purposes. The conflict between privacy rights and ISPs is a complex issue that requires careful consideration. On one hand, privacy is a fundamental right that should be protected. Users have expressed concerns about their privacy, but often undertake little to protect it. The rise of the Internet and mobile networks has made Internet privacy a daily concern. Users are often concerned over their privacy in cyberspace. The Privacy Act of 1974 is a U.S. federal law that regulates the collection, maintenance, use, and dissemination of personal information by federal agencies. The Act provides individuals with the right to access and amend their records and limits the disclosure of personal information to third parties. On the other hand, the providers argue that they need access to personal information to provide better services to their customers. The providers use this information to bill customers, improve network performance, diagnose problems, and prevent fraud. ISPs also use this information to provide targeted advertising. For sellers of goods and services, targeted advertising is more effective than traditional advertising because it is based on the user's interests and behavior. The providers argue that targeted advertising benefits both the user and the advertiser. The conflict between privacy rights and ISPs is a sometimes contentious issue. While Internet service providers may need access to personal information to provide better services, this information must be protected. The government has a policing role to play in regulating the collection, maintenance, use, and dissemination of personal information. The Privacy Act of 1974 is a step in the right direction, but more needs to be done to protect the privacy of Internet users. Providers should be transparent about their data collection practices and provide users with the option to opt out of targeted advertising. Users should also take steps to protect their privacy, such as using a virtual private network and regularly deleting their browsing history. In conclusion, the conflict between privacy rights and ISPs is a complex issue that requires careful consideration. Privacy is a right that should be protected, but ISPs need access to personal information to provide better services to their customers. The government has a role to play in regulating the collection, maintenance, use, and dissemination of personal information by Internet service providers. Those providers should be transparent about their data collection practices, and users should take steps to protect their privacy. The balance between privacy rights and ISPs is delicate, and it is up to all of us to ensure that our privacy is protected.